Hello everybody, welcome to this wonderful time that I'm going to explain. This is a very basically, this is going to be a tarot reading, um, this is how it is. Okay, so, I'll explain something about this introduction kind of thing. Do you ever get the feeling when you're getting to take an advantage of somebody, and let's say, that person likes to, steal, let's say the person steals Jell-O, and it's out of your permission, out the fridge kind of thing, and then all of a sudden you're taking a muffin without their permission. Okay, so there are two ways of a story here. It's called empathy. Two sides of a story here. And during this introduction, I'm going to tell you all about this whole entire tarot reading experience that I'm going to tell you. Basically, it's simple as that because you have to think about how it seems to be, and you have to think about what's going on, right? It's the way of how it goes. It's the way how it is, and there's no doubt about it. There's nothing about it. But there are things they need to learn to provide what you're looking for, and you have to have a good take situation. So whether it seems to be good or bad, it's the way of how you can be, comfortable on how it is, right? Because you have to be upfront on how you can communicate with your own skills. Now, when you teach someone about a lesson here, and in that lesson, it's going to go through someone's mind here, and tells you, say, okay, well, I'm not supposed to do it again. That's what it seems to be, right? So that's why it seems to be that I'm kind of interesting about saying this to you all, from my fans, who, whether you guys are taken advantage of or not, and let's say it happens to you in your whole entire life, or your whole entire household, whatever it is, and you see it as a time frame and thinking, well, what's going on, right? Well, I'm trying to explain about what's happening in this situation, okay? Because there are two sides of the story here. It's called empathy, okay? So you need to understand that when you acknowledge it, you need to acknowledge that. It's the time frame. It's the way of how you can do it. It's the way of how you can understand that. That's what it seems to be, because you have the ability from the right and wrong perspective. So there's a life lesson, and in that lesson you need to understand that, right? Because when you take advantage of somebody and that person doesn't like it, and let's say you are taking advantage of someone and then the person doesn't like it, well, is it their fault, or is it someone else's fault? Now, this is a time frame, okay? In that time frame you have responsibilities, you have priorities, you have a life lesson, whatever it is. But when you are dealing with whoever you are with, whoever you are living with, whether it's your parents, your grandfather, whatever it is, and that person likes to take advantage of you, and you don't like it, then why would you do it to them, right? So this is what experience is, and experience is what is a temptation is, right? So you have to believe about what's happening around that situation, and this is the way of how it goes. This is like a diagram, right? You have to know from the basics of telling the truth, or having lies, or whatever it is, right? But you have to understand that when you have a way of how to connect with that person, and that person is like being mean or rude or whatever it is, it's basically you need to understand what's going on, because in my point of view is that when people are taking advantage, and whether, if it happens, it happens, right? Because we make mistakes. We make mistakes in our own lives. We make mistakes because there's a life lesson, or there's something going on, right? So we have to unexpect about what's happening, right? Unexpect about events or something that's happening, right? Because when you do something wrong, and the other person is doing something wrong, there's no way about it, right? This is what I'm going to tell you about this whole entire tarot reading, because you need to understand that when things go sideways, they will go sideways. So I understand that when you're taking a muffin, or I understand that if someone's taking a Jell-O or whatever it is away from you, it is taking advantage of that. But when you're teaching someone about a lesson, you need to approve about if they need to understand about this lesson, they need to, right? Because basically this is like almost like a head-on collision, but it's not really like that, right? So, in my expression, my criteria, whatever it is, this is what it's based on, because you have to know about the truth and nothing else but the truth, and you have to understand about what's going on, because it's the way of how it is, and this is what it seems to be. This is what's going on. Okay, so I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please give a comment, and I will do a psychic cross reading that I'm going to do, and I hope that you all like this, because if it happens to you, whether you're taking advantage of somebody, that's how it is, you have to understand the way of how it goes, right? So you have to think of what's happening through that way of saying, okay, well, I got this, I know what to do, this is kind of seems to be, and you have to know what's happening in that way, and saying, well, am I doing this correctly? And you do, but that's what it seems to be, because you need to understand about how it is in one way or another, and you have to understand that, right? And I'm drinking some Earl Grey tea, and there is a special on my Earl Grey tea that you can actually take a bit of salt, a small pinch of salt into your tea. It will help you for your sodium, and it will help you for your hydration, everything else, right? So you have to understand about how it is, and the tea helps you sleep and everything else, right? It helps you to stay hydrated, whether you're feeling sick or ill, whatever it is. But keep that in mind, and that's what it seems to be. So let me tell you about this whole entire tarot reading about taking advantage of someone, and this is how it is, if it happens to you in your whole entire household or not. But this is how it is. So this is what the reading is. So the Three of Air represents the great sadness, take time to heal, the need to forgive yourself or others. That's what it seems to be, because that's how it is, right? Because you're feeling sad, you're feeling whimpering, you forgive yourself or others, what was going on, that's how it is, right? Because when you're taking advantage of somebody and that person doesn't like it, well, then what's happening to you, right? That's what it is, right? The Six of Fire, it says, victory, goodness is on its way, public recognition or awards, that's how it is, right? Because you have to have public recognition, you have awards about how it seems to be, if it was taking advantage of somebody else that you don't even know, or it could be a roommate, or it could be whatever it is, but that's what it kind of jolts. So it could be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, right? So you could deal with another for the three Aries, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Queen of Water represents tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. That's what it seems to be. Because you're caring for somebody, or they're taking care of you. but that's what it seems to be, right? Because when you're taking advantage of somebody, and you know, you trust your intuition, that's fine. But when you are taking advantage of somebody, it's a pain in your behind. Okay, it is, because they expect things to happen. They want to be acting like they. It's not all about them. It's about you or whatever it is, right? That's what it seems to be, right? Because they want to be the center of attention. They want to do things. They want to do that, right? That's what it seems to be. And then we have the Nine of Air. It could be enjoy a little bit, little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. That's what it seems to be in that card symbolism, right? So that's how it is. You could be dealing with in a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. The wheel of Archangel Michael, a time of so positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, and fortune is on your side. So you could be having good luck or you're having bad luck. The weather of the situation here. And last but not least is the Seven of Waters. So you could deal with in a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But it says a complex decision, the need to do research, stop procrastinating. Yeah, so stop putting things in the back burner, right? So that's what it seems to be. So in this whole entire reading that I'm going to explain to you all is that where this is going to be how between the way of how it goes, because of when you're taking advantage of somebody, it's basically how it is, right? So it happens for a reason, and in that reason you have to time and reflect on what's happening about your emotions and your feelings and how it is, right? So this is how it is, right? So let's see. So I'll do one card on the left side, one card in the right side, and I'm going to clarify the middle. So on the left side we have the Wheel of Fortune is upright, and on the right side we have the Temperance is upright. Yeah, see, now these two are different. Wheel of Fortune is upright means you're having good luck on your side, and the Temperance is upright represents its healing, right? Because you're healing. Now that's what it seems to be, but overall this is not how it is, because we don't know what's in the middle of this situation here. So in this note that I'm going to clarify, because this is just how this tarot reading is. So let's see what's happening in this situation. So the Wheel of Fortune is upright. I want to clarify that card. So the Fool is reversed, followed by the Three of Wands is upright, followed by the Three of Cups reversed. There's no celebration, but what's the other card is the High Priestess. Yeah, so you're using your inner voice, but the Three of Wands is upright. There's communication, right? So communication is on the side, on your left side, right? But remember that I'm talking about taking advantage of. So when you have communication, your communication about what's happening, right? You need to have a basic attitude of how it's going to be from your emotions to other person's emotions, right? So I could be talking about another, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. You know what I mean? But that's what it seems to be. So you have the dialogue. You have the way of how you can understand what about your reputation, right? How it's going to be, because if you're taking advantage of somebody, you're actually going to teach them a lesson, right? That's what it seems to be. Because when you take advantage of somebody, you're basically, teaching them a lesson. In that lesson, it's basically how it kind of processes. So what's opposite with this healing card on the right side? Two of Pentacles is upright, followed by the Nine of Cups reversed, followed by the Eight of Swords is upright, followed by the King of Wands is upright. Yeah, so it does represent passion, but it does represent where you have the Eight of Swords is upright. You have anxiety. The Two of Pentacles is upright because you're balancing two things at once. When you have the Eight of Swords upright, you have basically anxiety. You're feeling you're going to cry. Because when you are taking advantage of somebody, it's basically, well, you're having your own feelings. You're hurting your own feelings, but the way of how it is, whether you're taking someone else's Jell-O without asking permission, or you're taking someone else's muffin without permission, and both of them are stealing at each other, it's basically like saying who's having, the taking advantage of the most. It's going to be the woman's side or is it the guy's side? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. So you have to understand that there is a virtue situation about how it is, right? Because whenever I do these tarot readings for you all, it's basically how it's going to be, right? Because you have to influence the situation. You have to do your own temptation of saying, well, I got this, I know what to do. But it doesn't make sense, right? Because in reality, it's the way of how it goes, right? Because when you have it in reality check, you have to do exactly what you're looking for, So you have to understand that. And what's in the middle of this situation for between the left and right side? You have the Ten of Swords reversed because you have no conclusions. Not yet I can impose. Opposite. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Opposite. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Opposite. The Three of Cups is upright. Yeah, because you're going to have a celebration on your side. So whether it's going to be on your left side or your right side, doesn't matter. But when you have a celebration, you need to do that, right? Because in order to succeed in life, you have to do what you're told to do. Be responsible. But when you're taking advantage of somebody and you are teaching them a lesson, that's what it seems to be. So, let's see. So let's see what's in the middle here. Wheel of Fortune reverse, yeah, because you're having bad luck, right? That's what it is. Both sides are having bad luck here. So the man and the woman situation, right? That's what it seems to be, right? Now, so the Queen of Wands reversed, followed by the Magician is upright, yeah, because you want skill, right? You're having the skill because you know what's going on, right? That's what it seems to be. Because nowadays you think about, okay, well, this is how it is. This is the way of how it goes. This is the way of how you can understand that. Believe about that, right? Because there's a good saying, seeing is believing, believing is seeing. That's all you can do. But that's what it seems to be about this whole entire reading of. Now, what's between the Magician card? So you have the Six of Wands is upright, followed by the Five of Coins is upright. Yeah, see? The Five of Coins does represent money in this situation. And the Six of Wands, it does represent where, celebration, it could be that. But it could be another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that situation. What's in the middle? The Hierophant reverse, there's no guidance. But then the World is upright because you have completion. Yeah, because everything is completed. But when you are taking advantage of somebody and they don't like it, why would you take advantage of that someone? That's what it seems to be, because this is like a life lesson. And in order to do that, you have to have a basic formula of saying, well, this is it. This is how interesting it is, right? Because when it seems to be that, whether everything will go into that perspective, the way of how things are, you have to, the key is be patient. Wait for the other person to come back and realize, okay, what they did was wrong. And they will. But the point being is that it's like you have to wait, right? Because you have to wait for the right moment, right? They will say something, and that's how it is, right? That's how it is. Because if someone's taking advantage of me, I would not like it. Whether if you're living with a roommate or not, it's basically how interesting that is. Because this is not suitable. This is not suitable for anybody who is taken advantage of, whether if you're individual of a disability or not. Like it's basically how bad it is, right? That's what it seems to be. Because in order to do what you can, you have to think of, well, this is how it is, right? This is the way it kind of goes. So I'm still going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the world between the left side here. So the Four of Swords is reversed, followed by the Fool is upright, followed by the Hermit is upright. Yeah, because you want solitude. Maybe you're looking for a soulmate. But remember, we're talking about taking advantage of. The Fool is upright, there's change, right? So there is change here, right? Because whenever you did something that was wrong, that person would realize, okay, well, I'm not supposed to do it again, right? That's what it seems to be. That's what it seems to be, because in that way you have to think to yourself, like, well, this is the way it goes, right? Now, the world on the right side, I'm going to clarify that. The Knight of Wands reversed, followed by the Hierophant is upright, followed by the Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, see, you have no distraction. The Hierophant is upright because you have guidance here. What's up with this Four of Cups here? The Page of Cups is upright. Yeah, so deal with another Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Alright, what's in the middle? The Two of Pentacles is upright. Yeah, because I just said balancing two things at once. So this could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So the way of how it goes, where you're trying to not take advantage of somebody, it's basically how you need to know about the truth and nothing else but the truth. And there is a temptation of whether things should be good or bad here. Now, the way of how you can understand is the way of how you can do it, right? This is how a good saying is like, there's nothing impossible to make it possible, right? That's what it seems to be, because you have to think to yourself, like, well, this is how it is. This is the way it goes. This is the way it seems to be, right? When you look at this, you think, okay, well, woe is me, I'm so woe, but it's not, right? So everything has to be all short and sweet, because this is how it is, right? This is why whenever I make videos for all of you, it makes sense, right? Because when you look at this, you think, okay, well, this is the way it goes. This is how it is. This is like the way of how it seems to be, right? So you do what you can and say, all right, well, I got this. It's when you're taking advantage of somebody and you're balancing two things at once, right? It doesn't work out that way. Because you're balancing about your emotions, your feelings, how the other person is feeling, whatever it is, right? That's what it seems to be. Because you were teaching that person a lesson here, so they can pay attention to it. That's what it seems to be. We're almost done with this reading, by the way. So, it seems to be how it is, because that's what it is, right? So, I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the middle, all the way to the left and all the way towards the right. So, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, there's no wealth here, right? So, when you're taking advantage of somebody, you have no wealth, because that person could take advantage of you with money or whatever it is, right? So, because they want to do things on their own expectations, they're expecting to do things for them. Now, that is rude or mean, then I'm going to say it to you all, but if it happens to you, you will get the picture when you get how it is, right? This is how it seems to be, right? This is just a tarot reading for goodness sakes, okay? That's what it is. Now, The 10 Pentacles is reversed. Now, let me clarify between this card and between the left side, alright? The Ace of Pentacles reversed, there's no growth. Followed by the Three of Cups reversed, there's no celebration. Two of Swords reversed, there's no crossroads. But then the Three of Swords is upright, there's heartbreak. Yeah, see? They are feeling sad. Right now, I know I'm saying they, but it could be dealing with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? So, like, she could be feeling sad because, well, she's feeling heartbreak. She doesn't say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to. That's what it seems to be, right? That's what it is. Now, on the right side, the Hierophant reversed, there's no guidance. The King of Wands is upright, there's passion. The Four of Swords reversed, there's no recuperation. The High Priestess reversed, there's no inner vision, or inner voice, I mean. Four of Cups reversed, there's no distraction. Page of Swords reversed, there's no education. Judgment reversed, there's no action. The Three of Wands reversed, there's no communication. Yeah, see, the guy doesn't have the communication. It could be Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. But you know what I mean, right? So this could be a water sign and air sign situation. What's else with that? The stars upright, their inspiration. The Knight of Wands reversed, there's no immaturity. The Six of Wands reversed, there's no achievement. The Five of Pentacles reversed, there's no insecurity. Nine of Swords is upright, there's trauma. Yeah, it is. Moon is upright, there's misorientations. The Tower is upright, there's transformation. Yes, it is. The Hangman reversed, there's no stillness. The Ace of Wands is upright, there's new beginnings. Yes. The Nine of Cups reversed, there's no fulfillment. Seven of Cups is upright, there's a delusion. Yeah, so this could be a man and a woman situation, a masculine and a feminine at the same time. So, you know, you have to believe in what you're looking for because based on the truth and nothing else but the truth, this is how it is. Like, this is the way it goes. Where if you're taking advantage of somebody, let them know. You know, let them know about you have the permission of, you will ask them if you have permission about, taking the Jell-O, or you have permission about taking their muffin, or, if they say no, that's their answer. But when they say, I don't know, it might be a yes or no, who cares, right? But that's what it seems to be, right? Even when you're saying maybe, it's a yes or no. Like, that's what it seems to be. So, you have to pay attention on what I'm saying because you need to know the notes and you know how you're feeling, to know how you can be expected and the way of how it goes because this is how it is. Because when you have a delusion, it means that you're having like maybe a deja vu. Maybe it was happening to you once. I don't know. But that's what it seems to be, right? Now let's see what the Oracle card says and then I'll read you the enchanted map. The imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Yeah, so you're having imagination. Having imagination is the key to know what's happening around you in that situation. When you're using imagination, your imagination about how events are coming, like occurring, right? So it does happen in that aspect because it does, right? This is how it is. So anyway, the point being is that that's what it is. Because this is the way it goes, right? This is like a, I'm not going to say temptation here, but that's what this is, right? Because when you're taking advantage, it's basically how it is. Because you're trying to use your imagination. You're trying to use about these current events of what's happening, right? Because when you are, having a lesson, and you actually are, teaching a lesson here, besides about that person who's taking advantage, you need to be expected about what's happening, right? Because this could be a man and woman situation, and I just clarify that because the woman has basically the three of swords is upright. There's heartbreak, right? Because she's feeling sad. So Aquarius woman is feeling sad because she's whimpering, and that's how it is. Basically, the Scorpio man side, he's having a delusion. He has having deja vu, and basically he's having trauma. He's having all these things because he wants to communicate, but he doesn't have the communication skills because of what he did was wrong. So what she did was wrong, and what the Scorpio man was doing was wrong. So you see a two-sided situation here. It's called empathy, right? That's how it is, right? So that's what it seems to be. And let's see how it is. Because, this is the way it goes, right? Because if it happens to you, and it surely does, about taking advantage of somebody, and it kind of focuses on what's happening, you have to do exactly how to be responsible of how it is. For your actions, your feelings, the way your emotions are, that's how it is. So let me read you the enchanted map, and this is what it seems to be. So let's see. The magic stream, but it will be reversed by 18. So let's see. I know you like to hear my beautiful voice, aren't you? That's just a joke there. But it says reversed. So let me read you this reverse 18 card. It says, in reverse position, the magic stream card represents swimming against the current. There are times when effort and sheer willpower result in victory and celebration, but this isn't one of them. You can't force inspiration. You can't manufacture creativity, lest you borrow too heavily from others' ideas. Neither can you make someone love you or orchestrate a series of events that might place you in a more favorable position. Now is the time to drop the trying and jump into the stream and float. Immerse yourself in the experience of being fully present with whatever is true for the moment. You will never step in the same river twice anyway. So it seems that you're having trouble because about you're swimming against the currents, right? So it means that when I look at this, it says neither can you make someone love you or orchestrate a series of events that might place you in a more favorable position. You can't make someone to say I love you or whatever it is. You can't. That's what seems to be about taking advantage of someone where, they know how it was. They know how tempting it was because it feels like when it happens to you, it will happen to them, So whether if you're dealing with a Aquarius woman and if you're dealing with another Scorpio man, it seems that both of them are two different elements, right? Like one's air, one's water, right? But the point being is that what I'm saying is that my point of view, it's very unexpected where when you're taking advantage of somebody and that person doesn't like it, why would they do it to you, So that's what happens because if you're taking, someone's Jell-O without permission, or if you're basically taking advantage of, taking a muffin without their permission, that's how taken advantage of, right? So basically, you're trying to teach that person a lesson, and when you do take advantage of that person, and you're giving them a lesson, it seems that because the way of how it goes, and the way of how it seems to be, you pay attention to what's happening, because empathy is two sides of the story here. That's what it looks. That's how it seems to be, right? Because you have to think about how it is, whether if you're living with a roommate or not, or if it happens to you, right? That's what it seems to be, because you need to understand about how it happens, and it hurts, right? It hurts about what's going on through that temptation, right? That's what it seems to be, because you need to believe on what I'm saying is, right? So in this reading, that's what it seems to be. That's why it basically connects into that perspective, right? So you need to understand that this is like a life lesson. This is the way it goes. This is the way of how it is, because this is the way it seems to be, and this is the way it kind of goes. So before I let you all go, pay attention about what's happening. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention about how you're going to feel, and this is the way how it goes. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Thank you, and bye.